If you're going through a time right now and you're doing the poor me, I'm not that person, I'm not cut from that cloth, I don't know how to get there. Guys, those are the things that are holding you back.
I'm in the big leagues, told them don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in the big leagues. Told him that I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now. So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when he throwing the fastball. Just too quick for it, peeling off like the whip orange.
Welcome back to the Do Good movement. Hey, our purpose here is to make a positive impact in this society. And the way we do that is through real life education. The movement comes into play when you guys help share this content to other people that you know so they can do good just like you. For you that are new, that's exactly what we're here to do. What you just heard right there in that intro, that's what we focus on. Here to make society better, to help teach people things that they haven't been taught due to, the influences around them, different things like that. And how we come up with this content is just experiencing real life things through life, right? The last 11 years of growing this business and going through the ups and downs of just different personal things and business things. And once we figure something out, we just come to the show and sit down with you and share what we learned. There's going to be some stuff that you might already know when you listen to one of these shows. There's going to be some stuff that you're like, my God, that just made great impact in my life. So just tune in. If you guys know somebody that needs to hear what we're talking about today, just go to the share button and share it to them. This show only does so much good for us who know this content, but it'll do a lot of good for people who don't know it. When we were kids, it was either like a parent, a friend, a teacher, and we've all been told to like, hey, dream and go after your dreams, and you could do anything you want to do. And then you start going through life and you start facing adversity and you start doubting yourself a little bit, and you're just like, you know what, I really can't do that. And that's what you're saying to yourself. And I think we've all had those conversations, in our mind, or maybe to another person, just doubting ourselves on our ability. And we say, hey, well, I'm not like that person. I can't do what they did. I don't have that natural born talent. I don't have their parents. I don't have, their mentorship, different things like that. And you kind of put yourself into a corner and just kind of write off the rest of your life and just say, well, I'm not worthy enough. And this podcast, this show, I want to relight that fire and explain why you do have that and why you can live up to those dreams and why you shouldn't self-doubt yourself. When you admire somebody or look up to somebody that's doing something that you want to do, or if you have this dream of doing something or being something one day, and somebody's living it. Most of the time that's the case. Maybe sometimes they're not. But let's say somebody's living this dream that you want to live. And what you're looking at when you're watching them live that dream is, the future of the work that they did. Now, if you would rewind in the past when that person was a kid, or maybe even 10 years ago or 20 years ago, I could probably pretty much guarantee that they weren't living that life back then. What you're watching today is a result of different challenges that they had to overcome, different things with work, different things with their personal life. Like, there's a lot of stuff that the person living that dream has had to go through, just like you. That person has had the self-doubt. That person didn't think they were worthy enough. And then there's that day that came. There's that podcast they listened to, that person that came into their life, that moment of like, I just need to go fucking conquer life. Something happened to that person at one point where they decided to make a changing point in their life to get to where they are today. We all came from the same place, right? Came from a womb, became a baby, and then we developed to the person we are. We developed to the person we are, and I've talked about this in previous shows, from the people around us that influenced us to be who we are today. And some people were more fortunate than others. They've had other people that were able to influence them to get them to a better position. And you might have not had that happen in your life today. And I'm hoping that this show and podcast could be that one trigger to help you open up your eyes and say, I can do this. When I look at people that I want to be like, or if I have this dream and say, I want to be this person, and when I look in the mirror and it looks nothing like I do today, I don't talk like that person, I don't look like that person, I don't have the success like that person, the one thing that I really try to zoom in on and understand is that person was once just like me. That person bleeds red. That person's a human being. That person does not have a natural born talent. That's something that they earned, that they created. That person became what they are today because they dreamed of that, and they have pressured themselves to become that person because they wanted to make a change that bad in their life. And we all have that ability to do that, including myself. So if you're going through a time right now and you're doing the poor me, I'm not that person, I'm not cut from that cloth, I don't know how to get there. Guys, those are the things that are holding you back. You have to dream. You have to believe you can be that person. You have to obsess over what you want to be and what you want to do. And if you obsess over it, if it's something that you think about nonstop and you keep working towards it, there's going to be a day that you show up there. But anytime that you give yourself an excuse or a reason why not, you're going to be settling for less. You need to raise your standards and say, I deserve this. I'm going to be there. I'm going to look like this. I'm going to talk like this. I am going to figure it out. Success, happiness, dreams, all of that becomes true, but you have to believe that in yourself. You can't doubt yourself, and you need to understand that it's not going to happen overnight too. You are going to go through hard times. You're going to be put against the grinder where you're going to want to quit over and over and over again. That is the point. You should feel like that because that's where we develop. We develop when we're in the grinder, when our back's put against the wall, when we want to quit, when we're uncomfortable. That's where all the good stuff is learned. Because if you work and if you live in the comfortable space your entire life, you're not going to be forcing any habits, any other changes in your life. You're going to wake up and the day's always going to look the same. But when you push yourself and you give yourself no other option besides to push through whatever's in front of you that's holding you back, it is going to be a struggle. I can guarantee that. But when you push through it and you keep working at it, you're going to create these traits and these behaviors of how to win those battles. And it's going to create you on the inside. And once you start making those wins and showing yourself that you could start checking all these things off the box or checking all these boxes, you're going to slowly identify into the person you want to be. But it's not going to come natural. It's not going to feel natural. It's not going to come easy, and it's not going to feel easy. You need to go into that and understand that. So if you're in the gym and you're overweight right now and you see somebody that is in great shape, that person did not just, wake up one day shredded with a six-pack. That person either looked through a magazine, was on Instagram, whatever, and said, I want to be like that one day. And I'm going to do whatever I can and put in the work to get there. And then you see over time that transformation usually happens in a couple years because that person believed they deserve that. They envision themselves becoming like that. You are no different than that person. The only thing that's stopping you from doing that is you quitting on yourself or making an excuse on why you can't. We are all human beings. We are the same species and can be doing the exact same thing as one another. You want to be the next Elon Musk? Go do it. You want to be the next president of America? Go do it. You want to be wealthy? Go do it. You want to have a good family? Go make it happen. Those good things in life will never show up at your door. We need to develop ourselves and form ourselves to become the person to receive those things. And once you could understand that starts within, from you changing your behaviors, you changing the way you do things, it's not going to show up at your door. But when you put in the work and you go against that grindstone, Next thing you know, you'll look back in a year and be like, my God, I did it. And that's how my life showed up for me today. I get to live the dreams that I've dreamed of as a kid plus 10x. It's beyond what I ever thought it could be, and it never showed up at my door. I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and I said, if this person could be rich, why can't I? If this person could have a family, why can't I? If this person could lead a team, why can't I? And I did research, and I kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and I kept trying and trying and trying, and I failed many, many times. The first time I tried to lead a team, I failed. The first time I tried to make financial wealth, I failed in many different ways. The first time when I was trying to, build a family, I failed, right? I moved on, girl to girl to girl, and there's something always wrong with the girl, right? When it was me. I was attracting the wrong girls because that's who I was on the inside. And then when I started changing myself and how I thought about things and how I did things, life started showing up for me. But until you could start working on yourself, those things aren't going to happen. And you don't need somebody to come and give you the authorization for your life to become who you want to be. You don't need your wife, your husband, your friend, your boss to say, hey, you are now worthy enough for this. You can now go build a business. You can now go lead a team. You can now go in shape. You have what it takes. You could stay true to your diet. You don't need that information from anybody. You authorize yourself. Nobody has the power to tell you what to do besides yourself. The only thing that's holding you back from becoming the person you want to be is yourself. No one else. And until you can understand the result of your life on where you're living today is because of your own work, you're going to struggle. And today's going to look the same as yesterday. But when you could start admitting and say, I look the way I do because of the way I've ate, because of the way I exercise. I get paid what I do because of the work that I put into this company, because of the work that I put into my business. My relationships the way they are because of how I treat them and how I follow them versus lead them. And when you could identify and start pointing the finger at you versus everybody else, because there's always a finger to point at everybody else, guys. I could point a million fingers today if I wanted to. But that's always going to be the case. You could only control what you can control. For everything that goes wrong in your life, everything that's hard in your life, everything that you're not happy with in your life, point the finger at yourself versus somebody else. Because once you point it at somebody else, you can't go and control that destination. But when you point the finger at you, if you're right or wrong, and you put it on you, now you could go to work. Now you could find a way for that not to happen again. And you guys got to take this extremely serious because time's running out. Time's short. There's people that look up to you today. You lead a large group of people that you might not know of. You influence different people. So if you don't want to show up for yourself, show up for them. It's your responsibility as a human being to society to show up and show that dreams are possible to achieve. There's going to be a day that your kids are looking at you. There's going to be a day that your friends are looking at you. And they're going to remember the things that you said that you want to accomplish in life. And then it's going to fast forward to this day where they're going to say, why didn't this person achieve their dreams? And from you not achieving your dreams, you're giving other people doubt in our society. Dreams, any dream, guys, anything in this world is possible. But you have to believe that for you. And you have to show up for it. And you have to take it serious. Because you're not only letting yourself down, you're letting everybody else down who's watching you. So what's it going to take for you to change the things that you're doing today, to show up for you, to show up for your dreams, and make them reality? Showing up to work the same way you showed up yesterday is not going to do it. Showing up and having the same conversations that you did yesterday is not going to do it. Again, things are not going to show up for you. You need to build your identity, and the way you build your identity is building the right behaviors to get there. And you need to obsess who you want to be, obsess where you want to go in life. And it's something you need to think about before you take every single action. Every second, every minute is serious time that counts towards you meeting those goals. Do not get comfortable where you're at. You are better than that. You have a lot in you that can go further than you ever thought you were going to go. You don't need my approval. You don't need somebody else's approval. Go do it for you. Go show yourself what you have inside of you. Go sign up for the next challenge. Break it out step by step. If you want to stick to, if it's a diet, build a diet and stick to the diet. Sticking to a diet's hard as hell. But set it out for 90 days. And do not negotiate that diet for anything. You're going to get that small win there. Then start exercising. It doesn't matter if you've never been to the gym your whole life. It doesn't matter that it hurts to walk. Start doing it. There's a lot of mother effers that have been in that gym that look just like you, that felt just like you. Who cares what they look like now? Everybody else started from the same place. Some people are further than others. Stop trying to be the best in every single category from day one. That takes time to become the best in any category. You might be better than that gymnast in something else, right? So you're winning already in something else. You're going into their territory now. They started somewhere, man. Nobody's going to shame you for going into the gym because you're overweight. Anybody that's in shape appreciates that effort. They're rooting for you. Even if they're not coming to you and saying, good job, they're rooting for you because they know you're trying. They know you want to get better. People love that about people, right? But if you're the one saying that you want to get healthier, you want to make more money and do these things, and you never show up for yourself and don't have any actions to go and do that, people are going to start losing respect for you. Do you blame them? So when you talk about your dreams, guys, again, show up for them. Do the hard work. Nobody said it's going to be easy. To live the life you want to live, you know why most people don't live the life they want to live? Because they don't believe it themselves. They settle for less. They get stuck in comfort. And that's evil, guys. That's not you. Down deep inside, you want to go do it, but there's something that's holding you back on the inside, and you're letting that win you over. And that's not what you're here on this earth to do. Fucking push that voice outside of your head and go do it. And keep pushing through it, and keep pushing through it, and keep pushing through it. I'm not just one thing in my life that I just did. I'm big on challenges. There's this beach, and I had surgery back when I was a younger kid on my ankles. I have a problem when I run, like my ankles get swollen and I can't run far. And I constantly test this like every 6 months on like, hey, is it better? Is it better? Is it better? And then I slowly, stopped. And I got back from the gym the other day, and I just had more energy in my tank. And I'm like, I wonder if I should do something else. And if I have to question that in my head, that tells me you need to go do it. Because if I don't do it, then I'm going to be the same mother effer I've always been, right? And so I'm like, whatever, I'm going to go run the beach. And I looked, and it was probably like a half a mile, and said, I'm going to run to there. And then once I started to get there, I picked the next half a mile. I want to run to there. And the next half a mile, and kept running. And I just kept running up to 2 miles. I couldn't even like walk after. My ankles were beat, but I was showing to myself, no matter what the consequences are, no matter the excuses I have, I'm going to have mind over matter. I'm going to prove to myself that I could go ahead and do this. Because if I quit on that run, there's probably going to be other things in my life that got hard that I'm going to quit on. And that's not acceptable. Say what you're going to do. Go ahead and do it. And go ahead and chase your dreams and live it. And don't let anybody hold you back from being who you want to be and living the life you want to live. You deserve that. You owe that to yourself. Show up for you. Let's make it happen. Do good.